I'm seeing things in my head, like little sparks firing off. And it's not until the very last moment that those sparks tell me what on earth they mean.
I've never encountered anyone like this. He absolutely blew my mind.
To scientists, this man is a gold mine, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
This could be the linchpin that spawns off a new field of research.
Why are they all so excited?
Genius. It's not human.
Daniel Tammet claims that since he was 4 years old, he's been able to do huge calculations in his head. So, in August 2002, we dropped by, armed with a calculator.
Just to make sure that people say, well, perhaps you just know a few of these off by heart, let me just choose another one.
We asked him to divide 13 by 97.
.1340206.
That's as far as my calculator goes. Okay. Brilliant.
185 567.
You're carrying on.
I'm carrying on. Do you want me to stop or?
How many points can you do it to?
100. Nearly 100. At
this point, we borrowed a computer that gave us the answer to 32 decimal places.
Okay. 0.1340206185567.
As he went on, every single number was correct. And he even surpassed the computer.
4, 6, 3, 9, 1, 7, 5, 2, 5.
You've reached the end of the computer. It's all 100% amazing. When you're pointing to the table and doing shapes with your fingers, what's going on there?
I'm seeing the numbers, but I'm not seeing them. It's strange. I'm seeing pictures, shapes and patterns. Almost like a square, like the texture of water, drops, ripples almost. Like something reflective. It's something you can look through, almost metallic, like bubbles, like a half cloud, a bit like a flash.
It sounds preposterous, but if it's true, it blows away scientific theory. Daniel's brain seems to be doing something almost magical. It appears to be doing maths without him actually having to think. As if this wasn't enough, Daniel is also a wizard with words. He knows 9 languages and says he could learn to speak a new one in just a week. How can Daniel do such enormous calculations in his head? And is it really possible to learn a language in just 7 days? Currently a freelance tutor, Daniel has agreed to be tested by scientists. And we'll also be calling his bluff. Without warning, we'll give him a week to master a totally new language before going live on national television. But our journey begins in Oxford. In March 2004, Daniel took us by surprise with a dazzling memory stunt.
The ambition is to remember pi to 22,500 decimal places and to recite it in a live environment with invigilators who will be checking and making sure, obviously, that the recitation is correct from start to finish.
Pi is the circumference of a circle, divided by its diameter. It's a number with no pattern that seems to be infinite. Daniel reckoned he could reel off the first 22,500 decimal places without a mistake.
1, 4,
After 5 hours and 9 minutes, Daniel is nearing the finish line. His recall has been flawless.
3587. Finished. Yeah.
It's gobsmackingly brilliant.
Brilliant, yes. But does this mean that Daniel could also have learned by heart thousands of different calculations? Or does he, as he claims, have some strange power to see the answers in his head? His childhood holds a dramatic clue.
I mean, if you think back to the days when he was at primary school, were the teachers at all concerned about him, or did they talk about him as if he was different in some way? You know, what would happen during break time?
I think I would count stones, remember counting stones. And also there was a, is it called hopscotch?
Yeah.
So I would count the numbers on the hopscotch. This was what interested me, so this is what I would do, and nothing else mattered.
I knew he didn't integrate that well. I do remember you walking around the playground and looking up at the trees.
I'd walk around the trees and look at the leaves, look at the patterns on the leaves and the bark. It seems to have the complexity within its shapes and textures that reminds me of numbers.
Right.
Numbers, for me, have always been, it's like the most real thing for me. From the time that I was about 5, I've almost looked through numbers. Numbers have been my lens, the way that I've looked at the world around me. So I'll always count things. So I'll look at something and say, that looks like 131, for example, or that looks like 52. And just always thinking that this is how everyone else experiences numbers, you know, that this is a normal thing.
He got most pleasure out of just taking the maths books home and lying on his bedroom floor alone, going as far as he could with numerical problems and just understanding numbers, feeling much more comfortable in a world of numbers than people.
Daniel's obsession with maths is at least part of the explanation for his special ability with numbers. The things that he always felt were his friends.
Because I was so different, the children who would be bullies didn't know what to do with me, you know, they didn't know how to teach me, so they just let me be, pretty much.
By most measures, Daniel is autistic, but he's also picked up enough social skills to blend in.
The one criterion that really is missing to warrant a diagnosis is that his symptoms are not really interfering currently with his life. For whatever reason, he's managed to adapt to our world.
Daniel is lucky. Rare abilities like his usually come with severe mental handicap as part of the price. What makes Daniel different from savants like Dane, and so extremely valuable to science, is that he can describe what's going on inside his head.